I sit upright, not that to look at myself. Looking at myself is a miracle in the sense that the world at once vanishes. As I look at myself. That proves that the world hangs by the thread of my awareness. Which means that I am the center of the cosmos. You may find it difficult to digest that truth. That you are the center of the cosmos, that the world hangs by the thread of your consciousness. That's why you need to look at yourself and prove to yourself that I am the center of the cosmos. I look at myself and carefully avoid all conditioning of the life. As I look at myself, I find myself as a conscious being. I am a conscious being. That understanding I start with, I am a human being, one among many. That is how I live in this society. But now, as I look at myself, I am deeper than the human being also. I am the conscious being. Conscious being means the being. It is the being. Being is the base, the foundation. The being conditioned by the consciousness. I am the being conditioned by the consciousness. I am a conscious being. What is consciousness that conditions the being? Consciousness is the content of the consciousness. Something like a bag is what it contains. Something like that. Consciousness is the content of the consciousness. Of course, the content comes in the form of a flow. The flow of water has some content. Similarly, the consciousness flows having some content. And the nature of content of consciousness is nama-rupa. Rupa, a thought, associated with a name, a label. And there is a flow. Nama-rupa replaced by another nama-rupa, replaced by another nama-rupa, that is the flow. That is the consciousness. And the foundation is the being, which is changeless, immobile. This ever-changing consciousness seems to limit the being. I am the conscious being. Now, suppose I drop nama from the consciousness. No name, no label. The trick is allow the language to drop. The language, whether it is English or any other vernacular, allow it to drop. Empty the consciousness of the language. Just do it. When language is emptied of, or consciousness is emptied of the language, the form also drops off. I do not allow the language to come anywhere near into the consciousness. No language. No thought. The consciousness is empty. Even you, the person, doesn't exist in that emptiness. That emptiness is not a void. It is not an abstraction. It is very concrete, the pure being. The being shining as the knowing. That is the truth. Everything else is imagination. Just be. Your loss is your gain. You lose the content of consciousness to gain the pure being. Just be. Relax. Sit at ease and relax. Open the eyes slowly. Gurubhyo namaha harihi om shrutismrutipurāṇānāmalayam namāmi bhagavatpādashankaram lokashankaram rūpavarṇādikaṃ sarvaṃ vihāya paramārthavit paripūrṇacidānandasvarūpeṇāvatiṣṭhate You empty the consciousness, vihāya, sarvaṃ. And but to do that, you should understand that the consciousness with its content is not real. That is conditioning the foundation, the being, pure being, that is conditioning. And that is taking us into some mirage. The flow creates a mirage and we go into it. And then we get stuck there. And then comes artha, kama, etc. And so you are, people are forever or everlastingly taken away farther and farther from the pure being, and they lose themselves in the flow of consciousness. The one who loses himself or herself in the flow of consciousness is lost in the world also. This is the spiritual death. That's why we should not allow the things of the world. Like you need a home, I want a bigger home. You need food, I want some special kind of luxurious food. You need some dress, I want special dresses, fashion, this and that. This is how you allow these things of the world to overwhelm you. And there is no attempt to understand that all of this is a mirage. All of this is unreal. There is no attempt to understand. And so there is no understanding. In the absence of understanding, we get badly caught in all that. And that is called spiritual death, that is what I was saying. So you have to reverse that. And reversing is, you look at yourself. You pull back. You are moving forward and forward and forward. It is time to pull back. This is nivrutti, pull back. So what happens is the religion, the way it is practiced by the people, called popular religion, also called the religion of the masses. That religion doesn't help you to pull back. That also becomes a part of the pravrutti only, the activism. So you are active with money and pleasures, and now into that activity the popular religion enters. And so now you are active in another dimension, that is the dimension of popular religion. So dharma, artha, kama, that is how people become active. So that is not real dharma. People do not practice dharma, artha, kama. They practice mata, artha, kama. Dharma is very elevating. Dharma elevates. Belief. And they, dharma, artha, kama, chaturveda purushartha they say, but in that the word dharma they use, they don't care for moksha. Okay, God bless you, at least follow dharma. They don't follow dharma also. They just wrongly believe that dharma means a particular belief. That is how they believe. Belief is not dharma. Belief is mata. Dharma is that which is natural to a thing. That is dharma. So the flower is fragrant. The fragrance is its dharma. That is not a belief. So therefore it is not even dharma. Dharma elevates. So you have to pull back. The point is to pull back. Including the religion of the masses, you have to pull back from. And that is called meditation, is pulling back. Nididhyasanam. In Maitreya Brahmana, that Upanishad says, Me vyachakshanasya nididhyasasveti. That is the mantra. I am describing, O Maitreyi, Yajnavalkya says, I am describing it to you. Me vyachakshanasya sataha. Sati saptami they say, this is sataha shashti. Same meaning. So as I in English translate it as I am explaining it to you. So nididhyasasva. So means you contemplate upon it. You listen to it and contemplate upon it. I am surprised. How come people come forward and say, you don't need nididhyasana? How can they say that? Huh? Shruti, that pramana buddhi nahi hai. Pramana buddhi is not there. So Shruti, Upanishad is our bread and butter. And we talk of pramana. And other pramana buddhi is the Gita, Shri Krishna, Upanishad, the pramana buddhi should be there. What it says, we have to become alert and look at it with love and understanding. We have to take what it says with a lot of reverence and devotion. That is called pramana buddhi. That is what I mean. It is not there. It says nididhyasasva. And there some acharya comes, even in the tikas, some acharya comes and tells nididhyasanam is required only when shravanam doesn't work. Some funny theory he comes forth with. Is that what Yajnavalkya is saying? Yajnavalkya me vyachakṣhanasya shruyasva shravanam varvaka nakaroti chet nididhyasasva. Is he saying like that? Me vyachakṣhanasya nididhyasasveti. Therefore meditation, it helps you to pull back from the spiritual death. It is nothing short of that. It provides you an opportunity to pull back from the what is it called? From the brink. That is what I was looking for. From the brink of spiritual death. You pull. Is it called brink? That is what it is. Pull meditation. And then what is meditation? Close the door every morning and sit there for 10-15 minutes quietly, closing the eyes, putting off the lights, and then recycle some formula everlastingly. That is not meditation. Okay? Because meditation is not separate from life. When you do that, you separated meditation from life. Life is your duty, your relation with the family members, you are making money, making a profession, living in the society, paying taxes, all of that is life. And worshipping God, goddess, etc. All of that is life. And now you separate meditation from life. So I do meditation every day 15 minutes in the morning. You are separated from life. And tell people at home, you don't disturb me, don't call me, don't allow anybody to guest this and that, because I am doing meditation. Close the door. This is how you separated. Therefore, meditation should not be a separate thing from life. It is the very essence of life. And it is needed when you go into the world. When you are going into the world, that is where you have to become alert. That alertness, what am I going to do? What am I up to? Not what am I going to do. What am I up to? That kind of alertness is meditation. And that you need in daily living. Therefore, meditation is the essence of daily living. This is what I said in the earlier class. I repeated one more time because there is a question about it. The question is, if meditation is the essence of daily living, it is not to be separated from life, then why do you conduct a meditation session from 10:15 to 10:30? The question is not in good place. We do that as part of a class. We are understanding. And so, you see, suppose you tell, you remain alert in life, you say that. And then it is not enough to remain alert while I am saying it, you are listening to it. You should remain alert later also. Suppose I say that. Then if I have to be alert later, why are you telling in the now to be alert? The question is not in good place. So remove that question, okay? That is answered. That is answered. Therefore, this is the another question. This is the true Dharma. Very good question. Can we say that ultimately the only true Dharma is Dharma that leads to moksha? Yes. Even in Dharmartha Kama context, Trivarga, if you understand Dharma correctly and keep some Kama and Artha in life, because family people, they need some Artha and Kama. Now, sannyasi doesn't need Artha and Kama, not the way the family people need it. Because sannyasi goes for bhiksha. He doesn't have a kitchen. You see, when there is inflation, the prices go up. The oil price goes up. The dal, the cereals and pulses price goes up. I don't know that. And it doesn't impact me. Then how do I know? Because some people come to me asking for, Swami, please give me a tin of oil we want. Then I will get it. Online nowadays, So they deliver at home. So I get it. And morning I order it, by evening it will be with me. And the person comes next day and takes it. Now I know, oil price has increased. Otherwise there is no need for me. There is no way of knowing that oil price has increased. Then the other day before coming here, I noticed it has come down. So, sannyasi doesn't need artha kama the way family people need it. It will be there, but not as a purushartha. And therefore, dharma also becomes less relevant. Rituals, this and that. Moksha alone. Therefore, the family people, when they follow dharma correctly, that takes to moksha. But they don't follow dharma. You see, you are standing in the queue in a temple, standing in the queue to have darshan of an image, which the priest, he stands between you and the image. Why should he stand like that? What should the priest do? Prepare the image for darshan and he should vanish. He won't vanish. He will be standing there. This side, that side. You look this side, he comes this side. You look that side, he comes. Why should he do that? Ye to kabja ho gaya na. You prepare an image and then you confiscate it. Isko apna kabja mein le lo. So, therefore, anyway, the point is, you are in the queue. And now what you do? You push the person who is in the front. An old man is standing in your front. And you push the old man. And a lady, you push. A child, you push. And that kind of insensitivity. Now this whole thing, is it dharma or adharma? It is adharma. It is not dharma. Dharma is when you are sensitive and when you are good and you don't push the person ahead of you. Even when the person from behind you pushes, you just hold it, unless without transferring the push onto the next person. You take it upon you and then be sensitive to the person ahead of you and allow the other persons to move and then go and have the darshan. That is dharma. So mata should be carefully guarded by dharma. If the belief system, if it is not carefully guarded by dharma, the belief system becomes adharma. You see, people sacrifice the animal to please the god. Bhagavan said, I don't like a sacrifice, I like a compassion. That is what Bhagavan said. Even in Bible it is said. Matthews. He said in Matthews means that particular version of the Bible, God says, I love compassion, not sacrifice. Therefore, compassion is dharma. And you allow adharma to creep into it through the belief, through the door of the belief. Now dharma got vitiated. And now some of it is dharma, some of it is wrong belief and therefore adharma. This is how, therefore it is not mata artha kama, it is dharma artha kama. The religion you practice must be carefully guarded by dharma. And if you do that, even as a family person, that dharma will take you eventually to moksha. Therefore that is the question. Then the question is followed by Duryodhana. Now these are all stories. Okay, don't take the story too much. When you have a movie, there is a hero and there is a villain. Okay, you need a villain. Without a villain, there can be no movie. You need a villain. You see, can you have an incarnation of God without an asura? You cannot think of God's incarnation without an asura. There must be an asura. Some asura must be there. Even the Dakshinamurti Jnanavatara needs an asura called Apasmara. Some asura is required. If asura is not there, there is no incarnation even. Therefore, you need a villain. That too in a epic, villain is a must. Without a villain, there is no epic. There is no movie, there is no epic, there is no nothing without villain. And villain is the society needs a villain. When elections come, you project a villain so that your hero will get victory. In elections, you throw mud more on the other person. Instead of presenting what you want, good things, that takes a secondary seat. Presenting the other person as the villain. Anyway, in Mahabharata there is a villain called Duryodhana. And this villain, following his situational dharma. No, he was following adharma. It is not situational dharma. Dharma is dharma. He was not following it. For example, in his attitude towards Draupadi, it is adharma. He should not do that. A lady married, she doesn't want to do anything to do with you. You go after her, that is adharma. Even you even think of it, that is adharma. She says no, and yet you push forward, that is adharma. In India, they have a rule. If it is consensual, nobody will interfere. That is the rule they follow. They don't follow it here. In a Christian country, they don't follow that. In India, they follow it. So, a group of 10,000 people, a big procession, went to the police station. Down. They went to the police officer and said, arrest that person because he has an illegal affair. Then you know what the police officer, that happens to be a Swami. So the police in Bangalore, yeah, that's why it came to news, Otherwise it won't come to news. This happened in Bangalore. I am not saying the name of the Swami, you all must be knowing. And then the police officer, very high police officer, he said, we won't arrest like that. Because we investigated and we found that it is consensual. And therefore we don't arrest. It is not for us to implement the rules of the smrutis and other things. That is not our job. So if the lady comes and says he forced himself, he forced me, etc., if she says, then I will go and arrest in 2 minutes. But not you 10,000 people come in a procession and no, nothing will happen. Go home. That is what he said. And they went home also. Whereas in this country, they make a big deal about it. Anyway, so it's a digression. Please bear with me. Therefore, there is no situational dharma, etc., to protect his power. His power, nobody threatened his power. You see, Dharmaraja, what he finally asked, these are some of the amazing stories. This is an epic, some of historic also, which should inspire us. Dharmaraja did not ask for his share of the kingdom. It is not like partition of India between Pakistan and Bharat. It is not like that. He did not ask for his share of the kingdom. Because if he asks for his share of the kingdom, then the kingdom has to be partitioned. This part we will rule, that part you will rule. Dharmaraja did not ask for partition. He said, you keep the entire kingdom to yourself. And in the periphery of the kingdom, you allot 5 villages. And we will live in those villages and as village heads. Village will have a head. The Kshatriya has to, that was the context, a Kshatriya has to be the head of the village, head of the country and head of the nation. But in this case, I will be the head of one village, my 4 brothers will be heads of other 4 villages, and we will be paying taxes to you. You are the emperor. Ultimately, the village head will be under the command of the emperor only. And so we will pay taxes to you. We will present ourselves before you. You are the emperor. Be the emperor. Give 4, 5 villages. And otherwise, what else they have to do? Dharmaraja said, otherwise we will have to go back to the forest. We cannot do that. Please give this much. That is enough. What was originally planned, that the kingdom will be given back, the partition part of it, Dharmaraja did not insist on it. You keep it, whatever you have got it, taken it, you keep it. Give this much. Otherwise you will be pushing us back to the forest. That is not acceptable. Then you know what Duryodhana said? Take a needle and put on the ground. How much space it occupies, that much also I will not give you. In fact, either you commit suicide or you go back to the forest. You cannot stand on your feet within the boundaries of the country that I am ruling. That is adharma. He has no reason to say that. He cannot do that. He cannot expel citizens like that. That is adharma. And so he was, it is not his effort to protect his power. It is a lot more than that. His power is already protected. He was trying to take revenge upon them, to destroy them. Now they have reacted to that. Then we will fight it out and let us see what will happen. Either you survive or I survive. Both cannot survive in the same land anymore. That is how it went. Therefore, Duryodhana was adharmic. He is not following any dharma. He was pursuing adharma. Anyway, that question is answered. Now coming back to the point, you have to meditate. Avatisṭhate, abide. Avatisṭhate means abide. That word implies, you see, you look at yourself, you find a lot of movement. That is the consciousness. Consciousness is the background movement of the mind. That is called consciousness. Okay, a lot of movement. Thought after thought after thought. Content, a continuous flow is going on. But you go below that. Avagatihi, Ātmabodhaḥ. Going below. Okay? Going behind is also there. Paschat, that is anu. Anu is paschat. Ava is below. In a different context it may have a different meaning. Here it is like that. And so go below this constant flux or motion of the consciousness. Go below that. How do you go below that? Allow it to become quiet, then you go below. Whatever way. That is the meditation. So, what is the difference between samsara versus dhyana? Samsara means you move with the moving mind. Not move, run. In Ramana Maharshi's words, you run with the running mind. That is samsara. Samyak sarati gacchati. That is samsara. The moksha or the meditation is, or shanti, whatever you call it, is stop running. When you stop running, that also stops running. It cannot run independent of you. In fact, it cannot exist independent of you. So, whether it is a good tissue or bad tissue, they both are nourished and nurtured by the nutrition only. Okay? Therefore, the samsara is going on because you blessed the samsara. You stop blessing the samsara, it will vanish. It cannot survive on its own strength because it is unreal. This is the beauty of the unreal, that if you know it, it will vanish. That is the beauty of it. It won't bother you anymore. It bothers you only as long as you give reality to it. And how you give reality to it? You are real. You are the very source of reality, and you impart that reality to the unreal. Now it becomes real. This is just like there is a shadow in the corner of the hall or room, there is a shadow in the night, and you look at the shadow and know that as shadow, it won't hurt you. But you imagine, oh, it is a demon. Now it will hurt you. It will frighten you. Where from it got the power to frighten you? From you. It derives its strength from you and frightens you. You put an end to this, you put a better light or examine it, oh, this is demon, nothing. This is all silly belief. Dismiss it. Then it won't do anything to you. The samsara is like that. And therefore, put a full stop to this samsara. At least before you realize your swarupa, you have to go through these motions, okay? Put a full stop to this samsara and allow this constant flow. You ignore it, you allow it to vanish, it will vanish. I want to control it, now you are in trouble again. It is like jumping into the river and trying to stop the flow of the river. It won't work. It won't work. You are in the middle of the river. You come on to the bank. That you can do. Now the flow cannot do anything to you. The flow doesn't mean anything to you also. Therefore, allow the flow of the consciousness to subside. You allow it, it will subside. And then you just go below. Ava, go below. Below the flow of consciousness, go below. When you go below, you will find the immobile, pure being. Why pure? No conditioning of the consciousness. And then immobile, kotastha chaitanyam. It is the kotastha. It is rock-like, solid, immobile reality, as strong as a diamond. That is the pure being. And you are that. Stay with that. Stay in that. Or even better, stay as that. Okay? In that, with that, we say, with reference to a standpoint where you pulled yourself out of it. Whereas with reference to that standpoint, we say in and with. But really speaking, the in and with become as that. Svarūpeṇāvatiṣṭhate. Itham bhūta lakṣane trutiya. In Telugu we say ga. Svarūpamu ga, we say. That is the itham, that is how you are. And you be what you are. And what is that? What you are? Paripūrṇa. You are fullness all around you. Pari. You are Purna, fullness, but Pari also means in every aspect of life you are Purna. What are the aspects of life? So Dharma, the Artha, you are Purnaha. You have all the wealth of this world in you. Kama, you are Aptakamaha. Aptakamaha, when all the desires that are possible in this universe are fulfilled, that is what you are. And Dharma, this is the highest Dharma, there is no other Dharma, this is the highest Dharma. Upanishatsu ye dharma te mayi santu. This is not belief system, this is not mata, this is Dharma, highest Dharma, Ātmabodhaḥ. That is what it is. And so that is in you. And what about moksha? That is the moksha. Therefore it is fullness from every standpoint, paripūrṇa. And so in that fullness you remain, you abide. And in the why it is fullness? What is this fullness? There is no time element in it. It is free from the psychological time. Because why are you unhappy? Did you ever ask this question? Why are you unhappy? You are unhappy because you are living in psychological time. That's why you are unhappy. Suppose, I use this expression, suppose you die to psychological time. It is called psychological death. I ask a question. We will die or not? We will remain here forever or we will die? We will die, right? When we will die, what will happen to our property? We die. We die to the property or you hold on to the property? We die to the property. We die to the relations also. We die to the relations also. Suppose you have a couple of one or two dogs. You die to the dogs also. Suppose you keep a cat. You die to the cat also. Or you want to keep the cat along to the Svarga. You die to the cat also. Everything that you own, possess, you are connected, you are related, you are attached, you die to all of that. Or you want to hold on to that timelessly. What are you thinking? Kya soch rahe hai? You will die to all of that, right? When? After 10 years, tomorrow. Or after 1,000 tomorrows. Why not die now? Why wait for another 100 tomorrows or 1,000 tomorrows? Die now itself. I die to all my possessions. And make it practical. Write a will and hand over or give to them. I die to my gold. So whatever gold you have, give it away. And whatever properties you have, you write a will and register it and be done with it. And the cats and dogs, let them live their life. The relations, marriages, parties, etc., I am done with all that. Another word for that is, I am dead to all that. Instead of saying, I am dead, done is dead only. Done is nicely said. Otherwise it is dead only. Dead to all that. This is the psychological death. When you get it, it is not a physical thing. It is not a physical effort or any such thing. It is understanding. That is what it is. And so when you die psychologically, the psychological death, when you allow that to happen, in fact, we should die to yesterday and wake up to today, wake up into today and die to yesterday. There is a question here, that rephrased question. Is it correct to say that the sense of being the same person each morning arises only because the mind carries forward memory and identification? Now the question is put very correctly. You are the same person of yesterday. Today also you are the same person of yesterday, not because something continued or anything, only because the memory, which is time, brings that person and makes you identify with that person. You were not a person yesterday also, and today also you are not a person. But you believed yesterday that you were a person, and that belief, that false identification remained in the memory, and it carries forward to today. And today also you continue to be the falsely identified person. It is the memory. Now I ask you a question. Is it continuity that I am the same person like yesterday? Is it continuity? People describe like that. People talk of continuity. Yesterday I was a professor, today also I am professor. Is continuity. There is no continuity in this creation. Continuity is against quantum mechanics, quantum physics. There is no continuity. There is no continuity except in your imagination. So, people die every moment. The death is in the moment, and then creation is also in the moment. and sustenance is also in the moment. Therefore, the moment contains Brahma, Vishnu, Rudra. In that moment there is Brahma, there is Vishnu, there is Rudra. This is all Buddhist philosophy. Because that kshana, in that kshana, the kshana began, that is Brahma. The kshana is on, that is Vishnu. The kshana is over, that is Rudra. Therefore, everything is contained within that kshana. That kshana is over. And next kshana begins again Brahma. Therefore, there is nothing continuous. Continuity is false. Now I tell you, people ask questions. Last birth, next birth, reincarnation, transmigration. All of that is continuity. You perform a ritual and enjoy its phalam in the heaven. It is continuity. You created psychological time, another name for continuity. That's why, Appa, in a given context, we grudgingly went along with it. This transmigration, this and that. Arey, chalo, we have disturbed the people enough for today, let them leave them, let them have their fun for a while. Okay, Appa, transmigration, last birth, next birth. All of that is mithya. If Jagat is mithya, your last birth and your next birth will be real. Only Jagat is mithya. How can you have last birth and next birth if Jagat is mithya? So, you see, the person who is eating doors, will he spare papad? Doors eating, kara door is eating, papad is what for him? So like that, entire Jagat you devour, saying it is mithya, last birth and next birth will still remain there. Therefore, last birth, next birth, all of that is continuity, which is memory, which is time, psychological time. And you die to the psychological time. Then what happens? What happens? You become timeless. Paripūrṇaḥ. That is the paripūrṇa. You are timeless. You can be timeless. You can be timeless. And paripūrṇaḥ. You try it. When you become timeless, means you are dead to psychological time, you are always now. And time goes with the space also. You are always here. Come to Phoenix, I am here and I am now. Go to India, I am here and I am now. Go to Africa, I am here and I am now. You are timeless. That is the paripūrṇa. And that's why meditation, avatisṭhate, is never in time. Again, tomorrow morning you ask a question. You said meditation is not in time, but why did you start meditation at 10:15? Don't ask that question, okay? You understand the spirit of what I am saying? Don't ask that question. So, meditation is never in time, okay? Meditation that springs out of time is always binding. You should know that. So, you see, people, good-meaning people, they come to Rishikesh. Because I say Rishikesh because I was in Rishikesh, a lot of connection is there, and I lived there for months and months, saw many things. So many people from the West and other places, Europe, etc., from many South India, in the middle of India, they come to Rishikesh. And then in Rishikesh is full of yoga people. Yoga Nagari it is called. There is Yoga Nagari railway station also. In Rishikesh only, in the center of Rishikesh. So it is the town of yoga. And so you go to all ashrams are there. Every property is ashram only. And you go into some place. And there is a yoga guru. And catch hold of him. He will give you a system of meditation. And you have to practice that meditation. So you take the tongue and reverse it. Try it. You have to touch the Adam's apple. How can we touch that small flesh is coming in the way? Take a sharp blade and cut it. And allow for a while, put some cotton and all that. The body heals itself, all platelets come together and heal that small wound. Now the tongue will go back and put it there. Only you have to do that daily, morning 1 hour and evening 1 hour. And you do like that for 6 months or 3 years, then you will be able to fly in the sky. Khechari. Khechara mudra. Khechari mudra. Again, aluk samasa also there. Saptavi ekavachana, so that is the mudra. So what is this meditation? Is it not a meditation that springs out of time? It binds you. Give a mantra. We did this exercise. And you have to chant it 10 lakh times. Now 10 lakh times repetition means it is a time only. And now what I have done, one mantra I have to taken up for, and this is called Purascharanam. I was thinking it is Punascharanam because you do it Punaha. I asked also, is it Punascharanam? Charanam means doing. Punascharanam, even better. Is it that or Purascharanam? They said it is Purascharanam only. Why Purascharanam, sir? Because it is the first thing you do in this life. Puraha charyate. First thing, only first thing. You should not end your life with it. You have to do it for a while and be done with it. Purascharan ho gaya. So I targeted 10 lakh. Then I took mala and I have done with a clock. And then I found one mala takes 7 minutes. The mantra is a little longer. One mala takes 7 years. Then keep a small notebook also and note down. And then finish 10 lakh. This meditation is springing out of time and it will bind you. It won't give you freedom. Bind you means not that you will be arrested and put in jail. You don't have freedom. Therefore, paripūrṇa. Therefore, the meditation which is born out of time has no freedom in it. That is the meaning of saying that it binds. There is no freedom in it. Also, I tell you one thing. Paripūrṇa. Meditation is not a personal matter. That's why you take a mantra, say Gayatri mantra, and chant it sincerely. Let us say sincerely you have chanted it. Guru asked you to chant. You chanted it for 5 years. Very sincerely. And now you come up and put a card. They print on the visiting card, Gayatri Upasaka. Means I have done meditation on Gayatri for so long that becomes a title to me. So it has become a personal matter. One gentleman is Gayatri Upasaka and another gentleman is Āññeya Upasaka. And then comes another gentleman who is both Gayatri and Āññeya Upasaka. This is, I'm not ridiculing. I'm not finding fault. I'm only expressing my total, how to put it, I am flabbergasted totally. I fail to understand what is it. If you have understood, God bless you. I am not coming in your way. I am flabbergasted. Because meditation is not a personal matter. It is something where the person is sacrificed, the very first sacrifice is the person. You are not there in meditation. You, the person, is not there. You know, the person you is there in that flow. He is part and parcel of that flow. It is flowing, the person is flowing. If you go to the base, this Emerson called it the ground with capital G. These people, they home in, they get it. So he said ground, avatisṭhate. And we say kotastha chaitanyam. Kotastha is what? Ground only. And he put a capital G there. Look at that. So, therefore, in that, there is no person. And if there is person, you are in the flow of consciousness. Therefore, now you make meditation a personal matter. That cannot be paripurna. Therefore, meditation is never in time, and meditation is not a personal matter. Then what is meditation? Meditation implies a radical change of the mind and the heart. A radical change means you stop running into the world. You reverse the whole approach. You show your back to the world and you abide in yourself. That is the radical. Radical is that. And this change should happen both in mind and heart. Mind, shravana manana, heart nididhyasanam. You understand, appreciate it, dwell upon it, and then clear all doubts if any, and then abide in it. So a radical transformation in the mind and the heart. That is meditation, and that makes you paripūrṇacidānanda. So this kind of meditation is only possible when there is this extraordinary inner silence. That is needed. Because, you see, once I was sitting with a Mahatma, and some discussion was going on. In the meanwhile, another Swami came. And then that Swami discussed with him for a whole day. He spent and went away. Then this Mahatma tells me, "Itna pravruttisheel hai wo." That is what he told. Means this Swami, he seems to be more busy than any worldly person. And a person who, this startup, some people start this startup. He starts a company, some good idea he has, he starts a company and gets venture capital, $100 million, and he starts it. You look at him, how busy he is. Like Elon Musk, they say, he sleeps on the shop floor in a sleeping bag. He doesn't go to home or anything. The shop floor, Tesla shop floor is there where cars are being prepared, some developments are being made, some new materials are being tested. So he made a car, you hit it with a hammer, nothing happens to it, that testing is being done. And so all that research and work technology is going on. He sleeps, he will be there up to midnight, 11, 11:30, 12. Then where will he go? He sleeps in a sleeping bag in some corner. That much busy. So the worldly people are like that. And if a person takes to sannyas and remains busy that way, in one way or the other, that is not, that has nothing to do with paripurna. So, therefore, there must be that inner silence, extraordinary sense of silence. And that's why Mahatmas are very peaceful and silent. You have to understand. If the person is a very, very big time go-getter, you know, go-getter, big time, he is a worldly person. Whatever may be the robes, he is the worldly person. He cannot be a Mahatma like this, that avatisṭhate, that person doesn't know the real meditation. Therefore, that inner silence, Means mind functions when it is needed. You think when thinking is needed. You do whatever the mind has, the worldly chores you do, but there is that movement of the mind, the consciousness movement is in a very limited way, and you keep it at a low key. And then there is that inner silence. You abide more in that silence. So there is this immobile and there is this mobile. This is one model. Mahatmas present it. As you sit here and now, there is the mobile in you, the consciousness movement of the mind. And then there is the immobile in you, that inner silence. That inner silence helps you touch the immobile in you. And so, you should be conscious of both. Normally, people are conscious of the mobile, they are totally identified with it. They do not even understand that there is the immobile. Now you should become conscious of both through meditation, and then you learn to abide in that immobile. Allow the mobile to flow in a low key, with a low key. Don't make it too important. That's why suppose you find somebody in some distress. You have the wherewithal to help the person. Go ahead and do it spontaneously. And then that is the end of it. You have done it and he went his way and you remain in your inner silence. Don't become a professional do-gooder. If you become a professional do-gooder, then you have to register and do this thing, that thing, collect money from people, all this you start. Then you lost the silence and you have gone into the flow. You should not do that. So, paripūrṇa is possible only when there is this extraordinary sense of inward silence. So, you see, I tell you, you should be like a child when it comes to time. The child is not concerned about the past and is not worried about the future. The children are innocent. What is that innocence? What is the innocency that you are talking about? They are innocent of time. You be that. Be innocent of time. Suppose I keep all kinds of jyotishi books in my kitty, and then I have a software where you tell the date of birth and the place of birth and the time of birth. I will put a feed in and it throws up the chart and I start reading it. There are softwares like that. And I keep a laptop with me all the time. Because somebody wants to know his future. And I will tell where you were born, Rajamandri. When? 1956. Okay, which time? Night, morning or whatever. Morning 10:30. He fits into it. Rajamandri, Rajamandri is in that latitude, longitude, Rajamandri is there. Suppose you say Timbuktu, he will find a town which is close to Timbuktu and arrive at he pulls out the longitude, latitude. Longitude, latitude, why do you read it? Anyway, he fits into it, the time he fits in it, and then a chart comes. In that chart there are 9 planets, which do not correspond to the planets that we see through our friend's microscope or telescope. They do not correspond to those. They have nothing to do with that. Out of that 9 team, only 4 or 5 correspond to that. The rest do not correspond. They are all imagined planets. And then you present. So you will have this, you will have that. Now, if this is the way you are so clever, you are so scholarly about time, are you innocent of time or are you scholarly of time? This is the scholarship which binds. Assuming that there is some sense in it, it binds. Suppose there is no sense in it, then what to speak of it? Kimuta, kaimutya, you have to If there is sense in it, still it binds. If there is no sense in it, kimuta, what is there to say? Therefore, that is how paripūrṇa. Then, and I want to say one more, this paripūrṇa I am talking of because time is also coming to the end. You see, there is a thing called self-fulfillment. People talk of self-fulfillment. Means, you see, I am married and I have 2 children or 3 children. I brought them up, made a home and made a career and have a good retirement and pension. Therefore, I am self-fulfilled. There is one kind of self-fulfillment. Another self-fulfillment, I have done the pilgrimages, went to Kashi and went to Rameshwaram also, went to Badari and Chardham and Kailas also I have done. Therefore, I am self-fulfilled. You got the point? That is the small self. The false self. If the self itself is false, what happens to that self-fulfillment? It becomes false. Therefore, the meditation that we are talking about, paripūrṇacidānandasvarūpeṇāvatiṣṭhate, only that much I have examined it today. You abide in your svarūpa, essential nature, which is the very fullness. That is the statement which we are examining. And in that abidance, in that meditation, there is no self-fulfillment. Because there is no self. Therefore, do not look at meditation as a means of self-fulfillment. That is a trap. Therefore, so I will go to Hrishikesh, spend the rest of my life there so that the life will be fulfilled. Life will be fulfilled means myself will be fulfilled. It is a trap. These are very tricky things, very critical and tricky. Therefore, meditation is not a self-fulfillment because you are not the self that you are thinking of and you are already fulfilled. It is not something to be acquired. If you acquire it, you will lose it. Anything acquired is lost. You are in the process of time. You get into time. Therefore, meditation is not self-fulfillment. So I said something about paripūrṇāvatiṣṭhate, paripūrṇasvarūpeṇāvatiṣṭhate. Then that leaves one small phrase, cidānandaikarūpatvāddīpyate. We will look at it tomorrow and let me see. The pure I am, Shuddha Aham, is the same as I am in the heart? Yes. The I am in the heart is the pure I am. There is no I am in the head. In the head you have me and mine, not I am. Now, where is this me and mine? It is in the cells, brain cells it is there. That's why the brain cells are cheating you by pushing forward the me-mine agenda. Now you have to counter-cheat the brain cells. How? By pushing aside, by gently say goodbye, by gently saying goodbye to me and mine. So this battle, if you can call it, it goes on. The brain cells push forward me and mine, you gently put it aside. Otherwise, if you make Dharma as a part of me and mine, the brain cells have won the day. You lost it. If you make meditation as the fulfillment of me and mine, you lost the game. Therefore, you have to move away from me and mine. Leave it alone. Move away from that into the heart where I am, the pure, abides. This is I am, ahamasmi, the pure being, yet conditioned. Consciousness, conscious being, that is what it is. Whereas me and mine is body-identified persona with a lot of agenda in this world that belongs to the, me and mine belongs to the unreal world. Whereas pure I am belongs to the inner Atma or the Brahma. That is the difference. Therefore, I am is clean. You abide as I am, which is same as paripūrṇacidānandasvarūpeṇāvatiṣṭhate. That is the first question. That is also answered. Okay, we'll continue. Pūrṇamadaḥ. Today is a very precious day, auspicious day. We have had a nice description of the shloka. We have seen the sun. That is very auspicious, and we thank them for that blessing which they made possible for us.